Hello again, and I hope you're doing good and happy holidays. Well, it's getting that time of the year again when it gets too cold and I get too lazy to go to the range. So instead of getting bored, I find things to do that will keep me busy through the down season. Excuse me. I'll go over a few of those here, but your mileage may vary. You may have some things that you do that I do not go over. Please feel free to put them in the comments and share them with all of us. I'm sure we'd all appreciate that. I can't read minds, let alone my own. Trigger pull. That's where we're going to start here today. This, to me, in my opinion, is one of the most important things you got to get down. Because you're going to have them flyers and this and that, and you're going to be like, I don't understand. I loaded them perfectly. I'm shooting the same thing, no wind, and I'm not getting anywhere. They're going all over the place. That has a lot to do with your trigger control. So we are clear. Let's make sure our gun is clear. Now, my stock here is probably very different than yours unless you have an F-class stock. But there's always this big handle. Okay. So what you need to know is your finger. You do not want to press the trigger here with the tip of your finger. You do not want it in the crook of your finger because you're going to be pulling back to the right, and here you're going to be pulling back to the left. You want to be on the pad of your finger, the nice meaty part. So you rest your pad on there. Now what I first must tell you about this trigger is this is a two-stage trigger. Okay? And the difference between two-stage triggers, when I pull back, it stops. Unless I pull back real hard, it'll go all the way through. It stops. That means I'm past the first stage, and now I'm in the second stage. So for all you single stage trigger shooters out there, which are most everybody, I may go to single stage, I don't know. We'll pretend this is single stage. So I just rest my thumb up top, hold on to this. I don't grip tightly. I don't want to put too much stress down my arm, which would cause movement. So I grip lightly. And I I don't yet. I line up my shot. I make sure I'm on target first. And when I'm on target, and when I'm ready to go at it, I place the pad of my finger on there. So I'm going to pull back through the first stage now to kind of show that this is a single stage trigger. I take a breath, make sure I'm on target, let the air out of my lungs, and just pause. Make sure I'm on target and pull straight back, slowly and firmly, until the trigger breaks, but I want to hold it there. Okay, let's go through that again. So I'm gripping light. You know, my thumb usually ends up off to the side, not way up here. This is a big grip, and my hands aren't the biggest in the world. So I put the pad of my finger on there, make sure I'm on target, take a breath, let it out, relax, pull back, straight back, and hold it for a couple seconds. One more time. I'm going to fake that this is a single stage trigger. I'm not going to go through the first stage. All right, I'm on target. I'm all lined up. I got the pad of my finger on the trigger. In, out, relax, straight back pull. And hold it for a second. Now, a good thing to do, if you have the room, which I don't, in my basement, If you can set up, you got to have about 50 feet or something, depending on your scope. I don't know what your situation is. But if you can set up a target just with a circle on it, a small circle, and put your crosshairs on it, and while you're practicing it, this really complements practicing trigger pull, is get in there, pull back your trigger, and see if your point of aim changes. Your crosshairs should stay directly on that circle. Nothing should move. That's when you know you're getting it down right. Okay? Because if that moves, then you're doing something in your trigger pull to cause that rifle to move. This is the best way to do it without actually shooting. Because when you shoot, I don't care how lined up you are and how well you drive your rifle, that point of aim is going to move a little bit. I mean, it just is from the recoil of the rifle. Now, I've been having problems because you can't see here, but in the back, I have, for a buttstock, I have what's called a RAD 2 unit. It's an actual shock absorber, hydraulic shock absorber, and there's a spring in there. You can move it up, down, left, right, sideways, angle it, and whatever. So it sits in your shoulder perfectly. But I played around with it because I was making a video on it, I think. And I actually changed the way I had it set up, and now I've been having problems. My point of aim was going off drastically after shooting. So I need to readjust that, but that's going to be in a further video. So let's run over this again. The pad of your finger, not the tip, not the crook. You want the pad of your finger on there. Whatever kind of grip you have on your rifle, you don't have to hold that tight. You don't got to pull it real hard into your shoulder. Take a breath. Let it out and pull straight back and hold it. And if you have a target out there that you're practicing this with, you should not move off of that target at all. You should stay centered on that target. Okay, well, that's something you can practice all winter long, and you can't beat this practice. This has a lot to do with your shooting. Here's another thing you can do, which I do every once in a while anyways. Check all your torques. I got this little 1/4-inch torque wrench made by Tecton, model TRQ-21101. Check all your scope, rings, torqueness. Check your mounting base torque. Then you've got your action bolts underneath. Check those. This is always a good thing to check, but you may have many rifles sitting in your safe that could use this routine. So that's another thing you can do. You can also clean the lenses on your scopes. I'm just thinking of things to do that'll keep you busy. Now, another thing, speaking of scopes, I just learned something, and it's called wet mounting scopes. Now, I've seen this, videos before. I never watched them, so I watched a few of them, and it does make perfect sense. There are engineers that will testify to this. So your scope rail is perfectly flat. It's machined perfectly, and so is your scope base. You're mounting the base of your mounts. But when you torque things down, there's going to be a little bit of galling, like any type of metal or any type of pressure exerted on it. So you take a brush and you put some oil on there, thin amount. and you brush it along your rail and you brush along the underside of your scope mount. This keeps it from galling and it makes better contact. Now this all makes sense to me. When I remount mine, which I'm going to make a video all about that. I'm gonna have to get something where I can show through the lens. So that's on hold. But anyways, it's called wet mounting, and next time I do it, I am gonna do it. Alright, another thing we can do would be cleaning your rifles or rifle or handguns or whatever you got. These are all things you can do in the off season to keep you in that, gun mode. Now, if you're going to have your rifle or pistol or whatever stored for a while, always run a patch, a thin patch of oil down your bore if it's going to be sitting there for a long time. And I hope you've done that with all the rifles or whatever you have stored now. But it's a good idea. Take them all out. Check them with the bore scope. See if they're clean. If they're not, clean them. Can't hurt anything. So that's another thing you can do in the off season. I'm really hoping to get a lot of comments from this video and see things that people come up with, because I can't think of them all. I just think of the things I do, but you guys may have better ideas. So let's see, what's next now? Well, another thing I do is, because you know how anal I am, is I take inventory of all my cleaning supplies, patches, fluids, blah, 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 all my bullets, all my primers, all my powder, all my brass. And I have a spreadsheet. Again, how anal I am. But when I load, say I load 50 rounds, I'll pull up that spreadsheet and I'll subtract 50 bullets. I'll subtract however much powder I use. I'll subtract how many primers I use. In this way, I know what I have on hand and what I need to order. And there's also a website I belong to. I can't think of it offhand, but I'll put it up here, whatever. Where you can pick the things that you use, your bullets, your powder, your brass, your whatever, and you can select them on there, and you'll have a list of things that you need, and when they come in stock, you'll get notified. And if you're quick, you can go online and order it. So this is just one of the anal things I do. And you know what else this does? Is this gives you a good Christmas list. If you see you're down on certain things, you could ask Santa and he may deliver those things on Christmas for you. So let's see, what else can we think of? Keep your tools organized. Check everything. If things are broken, need replaced. This way, when it comes time, when the season is good and you're in full stride, you're ready. None of this, oh shit, I gotta order this, I gotta order that. Do it in the off season. Get plenty, whatever you can afford. And nobody can afford to get thousands of everything. And then you have it. You'll have your Christmas list. You'll have your organization. You'll have a spreadsheet that tells you what you don't have, what you do need. And please, hit up the comment section. Throw them in there. What you think is a good idea, because this thing up here can't think of everything. So I hope you enjoyed this video and you got some ideas. And one place I would like you to really look, if you're looking for good mounting systems and working things, go hit TotalVice.com. I know I've showed you this stuff before. I love it. To hold your rifle, to hold things, and then of course, inline fabrication also. Alright, you have a wonderful holiday season, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you.